Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, the place where we make fun of the morons we see out on the road. Now that's an exclusive, an Audi driver that's driving sensible, but that's not exclusive, an idiot in a black Range Rover that has to be in front. Even the Audi driver had to yield to the moron who's got a brain that works as well as a chocolate witch's cauldron. That said, this next idiot makes the last moron look like a genius. I think he's playing with his phone or something. Look at this, because he don't see the car in front stop and just hits it in the rear. If stupidity was music, that moron would be a full orchestra. This is from John D, and nothing quite says I've got a brain as functional as a calendar without any dates on it, as overtaken on the wrong side of the traffic bollard into the face of an oncoming vehicle. What a muppet. Keep your eye on the left, because this idiot in this one from Barry Bond has got a brain like a tramp's fridge with a dodgy bulb. It's empty on the inside and really dim as he just goes flying up the hard shoulder. He's the sort of idiot that thinks a USB is a new kind of sandwich. Here we are on board with Stephen W going up the A13, which is probably about one of the worst roads in London for bad drivers, and today is no exception to the rule, as we got a Merc in a Merc, black windows, black empty space between the driver's ears, just cuts across. That moron's as sharp as a bowling ball wrapped in bubble wrap. What a sap. Okay, now keep your eye on the right hand side. We've got a real special needs BMW driver in this from Robin G. Absolutely nothing between his headphones. He just uses the right hand filter lane to just go straight across the junction. Dear oh dear. Next truck driver's brain is like an old attic. It's full of dust and the wiring's definitely dodgy. Look at the gap he's keeping there, look. There's not even a car's space there. To me, that Audi weren't even hogging the middle lane. Yeah, all it looked like he was going the speed and he was keeping a nice distance. Look at that. And look at the distance between the truck and the car. The truck driver's the human equivalent of a BLT without the bacon. Okay, so from a truck driver that doesn't know what a good stopping distance is, to an Audi driver who's got the decision-making capabilities of a buttered slice of toast that's been dropped on the floor, the car at the front has stopped at the red traffic light, causing a massive inconvenience to the entitled Audi driver. But no problem at all when you're equipped with the 4 circles of privilege on the back of your car that allow you to treat the highway code and acting intelligently as completely optional. Now this is from John BJ on YouTube, and as you can see he's just about to stop at these red traffic lights. There's 2 morons in this clip. First one is the idiot in the Golf GTI that goes sailing through, but the second one is an even bigger one who goes through a very red light in that transit van. They're a real pair of statues in a world full of pigeons, aren't they? Here we are on board with Big John. Now keep your eye on this moron who's got the visual abilities of a damp sponge in a dry bucket with a lid on it, as he just doesn't see him stop and just hits him in the rear. What a donut. Have a look at this bell end in this Shogun in this from ENK Driving School on Instagram. Now we could easily join that traffic queue. All he's got to do is a slight left turn and a bit of a U-turn and sitting behind that white car. But no, what's he do? Just decides to block the other side of the road off completely. A bit like he blocks his train of thought every day when he gets behind the wheel. Idiots like that bring happiness to other road users like a wet sleeping bag brings happiness to someone on a camping trip. Okay, so from an idiot in a Shogun to a woman who's gone to show all in this one from Sushi, she thinks she's living in a Renaissance painting. Yeah, not what you expect to see when you're driving through a little village in Slough, a naked woman walking down the road. Maybe she's trying to stop people speeding through the village, who knows? I know one thing, if ever she does have a light bulb moment, it'll just be a quick dim flicker. Here we are on board with Scout 60R. Now when it comes to using your wing mirrors, this driver of this van is about as confused as a pigeon looking in a mirror for the first time, as he just pulls over, didn't even look or anything. Now to be fair, the line markings around that roundabout was all over the place. But either way, there's a lot of drivers out there who have wing mirrors for the same reason they have a head, for aesthetic purposes only. On board with Jason S, just going around this roundabout. You know you're meant to give way to traffic from the right at a roundabout. Well, you are unless you're as mentally unstable as a jelly on a trampoline in an earthquake and just pull out in front of people willy-nilly. He's definitely only knitting with one needle, that idiot. Here's a BMW driver that obviously approached school like a cat approaches a swimming pool. Nervous, suspicious, and always gave it a wide berth. This from RL23, stopping at the red traffic light. That pedestrian inconveniencing that Audi driver, as the Audi driver has to slow down as he drives through the red light because of the pedestrians in the way. What was that person thinking? This is from Jay, and you'll find him on @JLs12 on X. And unlucky for Jay, he's got an Uber idiot behind him. He's got the visual capabilities of a doctor's finger performing a prostate examination, as he doesn't see him stop and just goes straight into the back of his cab. Definitely playing with his phone or something. This from Jeb C. As you can see, the car's stopping at the red light, but the moron in the little silver car who's got the intelligence of a cow's afterbirth ain't stopping. That moron's idea of multitasking is blinking and breathing at the same time. Got this from Barney. Now, there's a few places you never want to be. One is round the mother-in-law's on Christmas Day, binge-watching reruns of the Kardashians. Two is stuck in a broken-down lift with your ex and her mum. And thirdly, which is the best option out of the three, being stranded in the outside lane of the motorway at night after you've had a smash-up. Here we are on board with Paul in a little back street just round the back of Euston Road, probably trying to get to King's Cross or St Pancras Station. Now, his and everybody else's efforts to get there have been somewhat stifled by this moron, an Uber idiot in a Toyota Prius, reversing up a one-way street the wrong way. Now, he's gone down the one-way street the correct way, and obviously he's thought to himself, hang on a minute, what am I doing? I don't like the feel of this, and started reversing up the wrong way. That idiot right there is the human equivalent of a flat-pack wardrobe which has been put together without instructions by an 8-year-old. Oh, here we go, and here's Ali G behind another Uber gimp in a Toyota Prius who's missing a few bubbles from his jacuzzi as he just goes sailing through that red light there. That idiot is to intelligence what an iceberg is to the Titanic. This is from Charity, and they've just turned into this side road heading for the car park, I believe. Now, as you can see, there's a one-way street that goes up the hill. And you'll also notice there's a moron with a brain that's as useful as an inflatable hammer coming down the one-way street the wrong way. And if we zoom in right to the top, that is definitely the back of a no entry sign. He's definitely missing a few pieces from his jigsaw puzzle, that donut. Another non-reader that never really embraced the education system is the one in this little blue car from Brian T. Now, the idiot leaves a nice little gap for the BMW to pull out into the junction, but then just keeps going and does him in the side. Definitely on his phone, that moron. If brains were fire, that moron wouldn't be able to toast a marshmallow. Here we are on board with Steve T in his truck. Now, as you can see, everyone's in the left-hand lane because the red crosses are displayed above the other two lanes. Well, everyone apart from these two morons whose thought process collapses like a deck chair with an elephant sitting on it. And there's another mug. That idiot couldn't hit sand if he fell off a camel. Here's another idiot who's obviously got too many birds sitting on his antenna in this from Brian T. Looks like we're on board with an HGV, and that BMW must get in front at all costs. Yeah, must get in front just to sit behind a queue of traffic. That muppet there has the ability to act intelligently like a mermaid has the ability to walk up a flight of stairs. Guys, if you like what you're seeing, I'll put a smile on your face. Do me a favour, please hit that little like and subscribe button down below because it really does help. Oh, and for those that don't know, I've got a book out on Amazon. Funny insults and put downs. Link in the description down below. Right, let's have a look at some idiots on some bikes. Nothing quite says my parents are first cousins like crashing your bike for no reason at all. This is from Andy, and you'll find him on @AndrewFruity on X. Now, what we're looking at here is a moron who's obviously always reacted to education like a cat reacts to a vacuum cleaner when you switch it on, like not looking where you're going when you're riding your line bike and riding head on into a taxi. Here I am on South Lambeth Road, and no, I haven't stopped in the bike box. It's just because I've zoomed in, it looks like that. Keep your eye on this moron here. This moron here whose thought process works as randomly as a magnet in a scrapyard, just pulls in front of them cars, nearly gets taken out. What a gimp. Here we are on board with Dennis V, just going through his green light, and this Just Eat rider who's got a brain that works as well as a yo-yo without a string just goes in front of him. That moron tackles decision making like a cat would tackle a crossword. Here we are on board with Ali G, just going around Duke of Wellington Place by Piccadilly, and the moron on the left who's as mentally unresponsive as a parked car just pulls out there, nearly gets run over. Then just to prove his logic breaks easier than cheap sunglasses, just goes flying through the red light there. And when women want a bigger ass, they get a butt implant, but when you want a good laugh, watch your face plant. Here he comes, loses balance, and at this moment he's looking as stable as a sumo wrestler on a pogo stick on a treadmill as he face plants the bin. What an idiot. Here comes another massive dildo straight through the red light at the level crossing and pays the price. I know you want the replay. Here he comes. Stoops low but forgets he's got a rucksack on, but he's soon reminded because the barrier just clips that rucksack and sends him flying. That right there is the Big Ben of Bellends. Well, that's it for this one, everybody. If you like what you see, please like, subscribe and share my videos. Share the laughter. Put a playlist up there on the right if you want to watch some more of my own videos. Have a fantastic bank holiday weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.